The Legend of Jimmy Spoon by Kristiana Gregory, Chapter 39, Un-voin-ahee. Jimmy rode Red into the woods. Snow drifted through the branches, settling on the fur draped over his shoulders. He was cold and he was crying. Never before had he felt so lonely. He didn't want to leave his Shoshone family. He didn't want to wear hard shoes or buttoned collars, or be stuck inside a gloomy store all day. Would he ever see Un-voin-ahee again? Most of all, what would happen to old mother? Jimmy felt worse when he remembered her lost children, and now she would lose him too. He was bothered by so many questions. What would his father do to him if he wouldn't let him return to the Shoshone? Would he have to run away again? And what then? Jimmy didn't want to ever see another battle. Jimmy wanted peace. Old mother wept when she heard Jimmy's decision. Hanabi buried her face in her hands. They begged Washakie to send someone else to the Mormon village. Sadness showed in the chief's eyes. I will send Nampa and Gamu with him. They will show Dawi the way. Go home, tell your father the truth. If you want to come back to us, come. We will be happy if you live with us forever. I'll come back. I will go tell them I'm all right. Then I will come back soon. Washakie stood in front of the teepee, his arms folded inside his robe. Tears welled in his eyes. Jimmy was uncomfortable with the chief's silence. Will you miss me? He felt stupid for asking, but he didn't want the conversation to end. When Washakie looked at Jimmy, a tear spilled out of one eye and slid down his wrinkled cheek. When a Taibo is happy or sad, he feels it in his head, and his tongue speaks. An Indian feels these things in his heart, and the heart has no tongue. 6 days later, Jimmy was ready to leave. Hanabi, old mother, and several women had spent hours sewing clothes, fit for the brother of a chief. The young boys gave Jimmy enough arrows to fill 3 quivers. Jimmy was showered with so many gifts he needed an extra horse to help carry the 15 buckskins, 10 pairs of beaded moccasins, and the 7 Bajono robes. Washakie gave Jimmy a crow pony to accompany Red and Pinto Bean. An unsmiling Poog handed him an eagle feather. Un-voin-ahee, Poog said. We'll see you again. Jimmy had learned that Shoshone didn't say goodbye to friends. He accepted the peace offering, a quiet joy soaring inside him. But it was the sight of Un-voin-ahee that most lifted his heart and filled him with determination. He would return. Vermilion was painted down the part in her hair and on her cheeks, symbolizing peace. As she stood by her mother in the morning sunlight, Jimmy placed the bear claw necklace over her head. She smiled, knowing he planned to return to her. A mile out of camp, Jimmy looked back. His feather ruffled the side of his head. He could see old mother's lodge, and he knew she was inside. The wind whisked smoke from her fire up to a cold blue sky. Even from this distance, he could tell the horseman on the hill was Washakie. Jimmy raised his arm in salute, then turned to the trail where Nampa and Gamu waited. And that is the end of Chapter 39.